Hanji everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about PRTD, which is Permanent Resident Travel Document, what it is, how to apply for it, who should apply for it, and what's the overall process. If you are a PR outside Canada without a valid PR card, then you need to apply for PRTD in order to return to Canada. So PRTD is basically a temporary official document that actually reinstates your status as a permanent resident in order for you to travel to Canada via commercial means like bus, uh, train, aeroplane or boat. PRTD is mostly valid for a single entry, but there are provisions for you to apply for a multiple entry PRTD. Who needs to apply for PRTD? So if you are a permanent resident of Canada and you are outside Canada and your PR card is either expired, lost or stolen, then you need to apply for a permanent resident travel document. If you plan to enter back into Canada via commercial means like boat, train, plane or bus, then you need a PRTD if your PR card is not valid. For land border crossing, it's a little bit more complex situation where you can show your COPR to enter the land border, but that is at the discretion of the border officials. So if you are a student or on study permit or on work permit, then in that case you can't apply for a PRTD. You need to renew your permit because you are not a permanent resident of Canada. So PRTD is only valid for permanent resident of Canada. So if you once have obtained your PR card or a COPR, then only you can apply for PRTD in case your PR card is lost or stolen or expired. Now we have discussed what is PRTD and who needs to apply for PRTD. The third point is what are the requirements for a PRTD. So you have to prove who you are. So for that purpose, you need a valid passport. You have to send a copy of valid passport along with your application. Second, you have to prove your PR status. So either a copy of a COPR or expired PR, or if your PR card is lost or stolen, then a police report. And the third is you need to meet the minimum residency obligation, which is from the date you apply for PRTD, 5 years before that date, you have to meet the 730-day residency obligation in Canada. So now there is an exception to this. In case you don't meet the residency obligation, you can apply for a PRTD on a humanitarian and compassionate grounds. So basically you're requesting the official that due to unforeseen circumstances out of your control, you were not able to meet these minimum residency obligation of 730 days in Canada. But for that purpose, you have to show proof. You have to write a cover letter to explain your situation and provide all the appropriate documentation as a proof to support your claim. So before you could apply to the visa application center in your own country, they would accept a mail-in or a walk-in application for a PRTD in which you have to complete the forms, print it out, attach the documents and bring that form to the visa application center. But since COVID, a lot of visa application centers have stopped taking a walk-in or a paper application. So this page, when you select your country from where you will be applying for a PRTD. So for example, if you select India, it will show you all the forms that you need to fill, and also it will tell you if there is any country specific form and where to apply for the PRTD. So in case of India, it says you have to apply online. So their visa application center is not accepting the paper copy of the permanent resident travel document application. So we have to go through a online application, which you can do through the permanent residency portal. Now the fee to apply for PRTD is $50. So you have to pay the fee online and attach the proof in your online application. And also there are no photographs required for the PRTD application, as opposed to a PR application where you have to upload a photo or attach a photograph. There is no photograph requirement for PRTD. So on your screen is now the permanent residence portal. This is how it looks like. You have to create an account, or if you don't have an account, and it will list all the requirements for you when you need an account in the permanent residence portal. So I already have an account in that portal, so I will log in. So once I log in, we see two screens. One is application for permanent resident and the other is application to replace or renew my PR card or permanent resident travel document. So we are going to do the second on the right side. We are going to do that application. So once you click in, it will ask you for your application situation. So PRTDs can only be applied when you're outside Canada. So we will select I am outside Canada, because once if you select you are inside Canada, it will tell you to apply for a PR card. And then it just brings a disclaimer telling you that you can only apply for PRTD if you're outside Canada. And then you have understood the disclaimer. We said I have, and then we go for apply for PRTD. So once you apply it, it will tell you if your permanent resident travel document is urgent. So if you need it on an urgent basis, it will tell you the criteria for it, what circumstances you can apply for PRTD under urgent requirement, and then you can select that particular option if your application is urgent. For my case, it's not urgent, so we will go with it's not urgent and then proceed with the application form. Forms that you have to apply for. So one is IMM 5444 form, which is a mandatory form. So it will list all the mandatory forms and other forms if applicable. For our case, it's only IM 544 form which is mandatory and the document checklist which is mandatory. So now you can also see in front of the form it says start, which means you can fill that form online, and upload. So upload means you have to actually open the form in a PDF and then fill it and then upload that form on the online portal. So as I mentioned, if you are applying on a humanitarian and compassionate ground, you need all the supporting documents. So they have shown a naming requirement for all the supporting document that you attached. So this is a list of documents that you can upload to support your application. So you can see there's a humanitarian compassionate ground request letter, copy of current valid passport. Then again underneath that is your proof of payment. So when you pay your fee online, you get a proof. It's in PDF format. You have to download it and attach that proof here as the payment proof for the PRTD application. Once you go down, there's a declaration. So now let's start with IM 5444 application. So basically it's very simple application. You follow step by step. You first select your situation, like I am applying for PRTD because my PR is expired or lost or stolen, whichever is applicable to your situation. You enter your unique UCI number, which you can find on your COPR or your PR card, expired PR card. That is unique to you, so you apply that. And so I enter a sample information, and then you select your language and the date you became a PR. That is also available on your PR card, and also the location where you became a PR. So that is either available on your PR card or on your COPR. So I'm entering just some sample information. This is not true, it's just to show you how the application is filled and processed. I select any wherever you became the PR. So like Ontario and Toronto Airport, Pearson Airport, most of the people land there. So you just select that and then you proceed to the next one. Where you fill all your personal details as per your COPR or your last PR card. So the information has to match your COPR and PR card in terms of your name, your family name, your first name, and your physical characteristics all should match. So you just fill out this section. Then your birth information, your date of birth. So these are all sample numbers I'm just filling in just to go to the next step. And then your country of citizenship. So obviously we are just going to select India. And then your current residential address in Canada. So once you did that, then you go to the next step. Would you like to contact us via email address? So you provide an email address if you want them to contact you for the passport submission if your PRTD application is approved. Then next step is the immigration history. So basically this section is to check if you have ever withdrawn your PR application, or you were basically asked to asked by the officer to leave Canada. We just select no to everything. If your immigration appeal was pending. So now in this case of 3.5, it says, have you ever been issued any travel document? So we say yes, travel document. And then whatever travel document you have been issued, you can put that information in that block. So this is maximum character of 1500. So if your explanation is more than 1500, you can actually name that file, and you can attach it as an attachment, and you can just put a note here that please see this attachment for more explanation. This is the address history inside outside Canada. So basically you enter your address history in the last 5 years, and then you add a plus sign to add another column, and then you save the table. After adding the address history, then you have to also enter your work history. So same way you can enter your work history in the past 5 years. Even if you are not working, if you are retired or you are a homemaker, you should still enter those with the dates. Move to the next step, which is the step 5, residency obligation. So this is time spent outside Canada. So you have to show all the time you have spent outside Canada, and if you have stayed in Canada for 730 days in the past 5 years from your date of application. So there are other questions in if you have traveled outside Canada. Yes. Have you been employed by a Canadian business? In that case, for us, my case is no. Have you been accompanied by a Canadian citizen, like your spouse or common law partner? No. And have you been accompanied by a PR? So that's again no. Then you record your time spent outside Canada. So the period assessed is based on when you became a PR and from the date you apply for the PRTD. So that period assessed is automatically filled out. So you only have to explain your absence in that period that is filled out on the application. And then you basically here for my case say there are reasons of your absence, so A, B, C or D, A, B, C or others. So my case none is applicable, so I go with other and vacation. You can put vacation, you can put employment, studying. During COVID time, a lot of people put COVID restrictions. So whatever reason was it for your absence, you put that in there. So we just say we are out for 5 days, and then you save the table. So here it shows time spent outside Canada, excluding those 3 reasons is 5 days. So you have met the residency obligation. But now if you didn't meet the residency obligation, then basically so you can fill this 5.7 section, which is humanitarian compassionate grounds. So again, it's maximum of 1500, but you can make a detailed letter showing what the circumstances and the supporting documents you need. So basically example would be you start with the main reason for my absence was this, and then you give a history that I have been a PR since then, I have renewed my PR, I have met the residency obligation before, but say you couldn't meet it due to COVID restrictions or your health issues or family emergency. So you have to provide all those detailed explanation along with the documents like doctor's note or like airline note saying that you can't travel, or any family emergency. Any supporting document that you can provide will help you a lot in getting your application approved on humanitarian compassionate ground. I have done that myself, and I have prepared like a 3000 word letter with around 20 supporting documents, and it has worked. Because if your reason is genuine, the officer also will support you and will grant you a PRTD on a humanitarian compassionate ground. So once you go, it says complete, and you go back to the main page, and so it says ready to upload on the IMM 5444 application. So means you have filled it correctly, it's ready to upload. Now the next one would be our checklist, which is mandatory. So we have to open the checklist, we will download it. So let's download it, it's open. Now you just check the requirements as per your application. So basically what documents you have to provide. So the first will be The application, yes, we have filled that. Proof of residency requirement, which will be basically obligation. So yeah, in case humanitarian compassionate ground or you have been outside Canada, so stamps on your passport will be the proof. Your passport you are providing, your fee, and this document checklist. And then we are not applying for PR card, we are applying for PRTD. So basically a copy of your current and valid passport and copies of all pages of the passport showing your travel history, and then any other supporting document that is required. So you just fill out the checklist and then you save it and upload it. So then now once your process is ready to be submitted, and now then you can attach any supporting documents that you were planning to support your application. So like here, if you say a police report, in case your PR card was lost or stolen, you actually go select that and then upload the police report. Once you are done that, then you upload your payment information, and then once all is done, this start button will be activated for declaration. So basically it just says that everything has been saved, and then you can return to the home page to look at your application. So you start the declaration after that. So once you start the declaration, it basically just says, so you consent to the declaration that all the information provided is correct and true to your knowledge. So you go through all that, check all the boxes as applicable to you, and then it says, are you currently in Canada or have you left Canada since starting this application? So if so, you must update your travel history. So we said, yeah, we are currently outside Canada. You say yes, and then you say, I've reviewed and updated my travel history with that requirement. Then you go, it says complete and return to application. So once you hit that complete and return to application, that is your signature, that is your digital signature, and there is a submit button that will be activated, so you can submit your application. So this was just a run through on how to apply for PRTD using the permanent residence portal online. For other countries, there might be visa application centers where you can go and apply for PRTD in person, but for India you only have to apply online. And once this application has been submitted, you can see in your permanent resident portal it will say submitted on a date. Then you get an email from the IRCC about your application status, and if it is approved, it will guide you with the instructions on how to submit your passport to VAC. So hope you like this introduction to PRTD. I know a lot of people find this process a little complicated. Just to make sure that I am not an immigration consultant, I am just providing you information based on my personal experience with applying for PRTD. So hope you like this informative video about this PRTD process. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and keep supporting me. So I'll see you in the next video. Tab tak le, see ya, bye.